Every time you see it, what if no, it's top
I got that
notch?
chicken to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Breno Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Rape in the city that's light. LED look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look through light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for it.
Coach from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Play action. It's Bortles. And connecting here with DJ Chark. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
11B.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. They're able to find Garcon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Here's Breida, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now the rookie from NC State, this is Nyheim Hines. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a toss play. It's Hines. How about another? And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On 1st down, it's Locke. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Hines on the toss play. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Out of the gun, Locke. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run with Breda, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. On play action, now Bortles. Forced out to his left, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the Jaguars send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the Colts getting ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. From the gun, here's Luck. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on third down, Locke. Steps away to his left. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out, and the Jags grab it. Then he'll take this back down inside the 20.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Being chased out left. Caught on the slant. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Bortles. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. In for the score. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 1st down, Locke. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Locke. And at his own 7. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. That's pulled in at the 32. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Throwing on first down is Bortles. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Lambeau will put this one through. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Love. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it. Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated. Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him. Now Luck, under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Dante Fowler in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it, and taken at the 46. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. Still third quarter, but you just get that feel. Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? This is Breida. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he finds Seferian-Jenkins. Bortles to the former Jet, Seferian-Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danico Autry breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Caught left side by Hilton. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Luck. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Here's Luck. Buying time to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Luck. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
They get it to him running left. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Here's Locke. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Bortles eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Shotgun now for Bortles. He's going to sling this deep. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Luck now to throw. Dancing to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Jaguars getting set to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Bortles. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play, and facing a 2nd and long. To throw is Love. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Calais Campbell. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it with Hines. And he is going absolutely nowhere, in the wrong direction. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And the Colts coming out now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
forward.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, Luck. Forced out to his left. And so now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out, and the Jags grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now it's Breida. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hey, let's go. Trip front.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville,